Well, the gremlins attacked me tonight. This is Marjorie Saulson of Vibrant Vocal Power, and this is a new edition of Public Speaking Tips and Tricks. And I couldn't get an internet connection where I wanted to set up, so I'm a little late, and I apologize if you're here watching me live. And I don't even know how to find you if you are. Have to practice some more. Anyway, tonight I'm talking about, of all things, getting nervous when you need to speak and how to handle those nerves. And the first thing is that you really do need to know what you want to say. When you know what you want to say, that is a big help in dealing with all of your nerves. However, you don't always know what you want to say. Things come up, somebody asks you a question, and you need to think about it. So when you're nervous, it generally shows up in your body. So you can use your body to deal with those nerves. And the first thing that very often happens is when you're nervous, you start breathing more shallowly. And in a really extreme case, people who have panic attacks really have a hard time catching their breath. So we don't want anybody getting a panic attack before they have to speak. So here's what you need to do. You need to focus on your breathing slowly and counting. It helps take your mind off of feeling nervous. So if you breathe in slowly to the count of 4 and breathe in so that you're breathing all the way down into your belly, you feel your rib cage expand, because your lungs are inside your rib cage. If your rib cage doesn't expand and push your belly down, you're not taking a very deep breath. So take a breath, count to 4, hold it back for 4, let it out slowly for 4 counts, and then wait 4 counts before taking another breath. That's called 4x4 breathing. And that's something you can do before you presentation. But if you're not doing a presentation and you need to speak, take the time to take a breath. Don't just feel you have to jump off the 10-meter board without taking a breath, because one of the things that does is that when you speak without taking a breath, you lose your chest resonance and you sound like this instead. And it really reduces your authority status to have this kind of thin voice that doesn't resonate. And as you're breathing, you're giving your body a message that you really are safe. If you're running away from a tiger, you don't focus on your breathing. So before you start speaking in any situation, whether it's giving a speech or doing a Facebook Live or picking up the phone or talking to somebody at a networking event, it's always a good idea to remember to keep focusing on breathing. The more you can focus on your breathing, the better you can function, both mentally and physically. And the other tip that I want to share with you is another common thing that happens when we're nervous. When we're nervous, our mouth tends to get really dry. And it doesn't matter if you really worked hard all day to hydrate yourself, drunk plenty of water and so forth and so on. When you get nervous, your mouth gets dry. And the easiest way to deal with that is simply to rub your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And you will find that if you do that, you will get your saliva going. You can have your own little sort of system of having your own little, water source. Now, I see over here that we have some people who are with us. So, hi, Heidi. I'm so glad to see you. And Lou Bortoni. Aha! Lou, I see you like my tip about the dry mouth. And Lou is a wonderful video guru, and he does a lot of videos. So I'm guessing that dry mouth tip will come in handy for you. And Heidi is somebody who is really gaining such confidence in communication. It's really a pleasure to see how she's doing that. And so I'm really thrilled. This is the first Facebook Live I'm doing where somebody actually showed up. So it's very thrilling. And it's also the first Facebook Live where I couldn't get a Wi-Fi connection, where I had laboriously set up on our sun porch. I'm at our vacation home in Port Huron on Lake Huron, and I have this wonderful view for all of you of Lake Huron, which is the Great Lake on the east side of Michigan. And so now I'm in my husband's office, and that's where I ended up. So anybody, let's see, have a comment or a question? This is very interesting. So Lou or Heidi, if you have a question and you want to put it in there, I'll be glad to answer it. Anything related to handling nerves, last minute nerves when you're getting ready to speak. And by the way, just remember what Mark Twain said about public speaking, that there are two types of speakers, those who are nervous and those who are liars. And just as a review, in case you haven't seen one of my videos before, I consider public speaking to be any time you talk to somebody other than yourself. And that could be at the family dinner party, or a nosy neighbor or relative, or networking, or picking up the phone. For me, picking up the phone was the thing I really had to work on. And I know we generally think public speaking is giving a speech, but we really need to use it to communicate in many situations. And let's see. Heidi says she grew up on Lake Huron in Ontario. Well, wow. Right across the lake. Of course, the Great Lakes, you can't see across the lake. They are so huge. The Indians call them the inland seas. And it's like being on an ocean, but no salt, which is really wonderful. Okay. And what do you do when you feel your hands shaking? Thank you, Heidi. That's a great question. When you feel your hands shaking, one of the things that you can do is, instead of having them hanging out in the air, as it were, you can, if you're standing, just kind of bring them along the side of your body and rest them against your body so that they're not out in the air. Not obviously clutching, but sometimes when your hands are shaking, you really don't want to cross your arms, because that's a very off-putting position, crossing your arms. However, if you happen to be in a situation where you are speaking at a lectern or rostrum, then you can hold on to the rostrum without being obvious about your hand shaking. And that's a very wonderful thing. And if you're in front of a microphone, you can hold on to the microphone. You'll see a lot of people, singers and speakers, will hold on to the microphone as they're making their presentation. Of course, as I say, you don't want to clutch it too obviously. But a lot of it depends on where you are. If you're just standing, and the other thing that you can use the energy that's we didn't lose the signal. I got a funny little signal here. We're going to get some Wi-Fi strengtheners on Thursday, so hopefully the video will come through. Despite all of the gremlins, I have a theory about gremlins. They come out whenever something's really important or you're trying something new. And I think that this is both of those categories. So, as I said, Heidi, one of the things I suggest is, if you can, use gestures. And if you have note cards, those you can hold in front of you. And if you kind of rest your elbows against the side of your body so that they're not flapping out in the, you can use that as a way of steadying your hands when you're holding notes. So I hope that that's a helpful suggestion. And let's see, any other questions before we wrap up? Anyway, I want to thank you so much, Heidi and Lou, for coming today. I hope the video goes all the way through despite the Wi-Fi and the wrong place and having to change everything at the last minute. And so this is an ongoing adventure in communication and public speaking. And by the way, this is an absolute example of the fact that you don't have to be perfect to get your message across. So thank you very much for joining me. And I look forward, let's see, any other, aha, Heidi says, thanks, great suggestions. Glad you like them, and I hope they prove useful. So I thank you for joining me, Heidi and Lou, and I hope that in future Facebook Lives, number one, the Wi-Fi will behave. I'll be able to actually stay where I set up, and that we can be of service not only to you, but to anybody else and everybody else who is watching this video. I invite anyone who is with us to please take advantage of my 23-page ebook. It's a complimentary ebook, Overcome Your Public Speaking Fears, even if you struggled with them for years. And you can find that on my website. It's on the, there's an opt-in box on the side and a pop-up. And the website is vibrantvocalpower.com. And I purposefully picked that name, Vibrant Vocal Power, because it's my mission to help you come into the full power of your voice so that you can serve the people that you are meant to serve and accomplish the dearest goals in your life. Again, this is Marjorie Saulson of vibrantvocalpower.com. Thank you so much for joining me.